Hello there, fellow nobodies. My name is Knump, and this is the show you've never heard of. Today we'll be covering the new reversible USB plug. The European Union has voted net neutrality into law, and Xbox One's parental controls were defeated by a 5-year-old. This and a few other stories on this week's episode. So anyone who's kind of struggled with the USB cables and trying to figure out which side is up and how both sides never work until you flip it twice and then it magically does, you'll be relieved to know that USB 2.0 and USB Micro 3.1 are completely reversible. Anyone who's never had an Apple product is going to be overjoyed and has never experienced anything like this. The USB Micro is supposed to resemble the Apple's Lightning cable and have completely reversible prongs and fit on either sort of side way you can muster it in there, and no more fuss, no more muss. Well, USB 4.0 is coming out a little later. It proves to be the fastest speeds ever done on regular cable transmission type things, and instead of the 2.1 amps it normally uses to power things, it can run up to 5 amps of electricity into your mobile devices, which means charging will be done even faster. On to the next point, net neutrality and what it means for you. Basically what net neutrality is the avoidance of two-tiered or premiums that can be kind of thrown at you by telecommunications companies. So if a company comes in and says, hey look, I'm going to make you pay $30 a month for this much uses, but if you go into a high volume area or if you go onto a premium video site, and that's basically just any site they turn around and declare is heavy usage and high traffic and high data, and that's premium to them, they'll charge you another fee for that. The European Union has basically come up and said, no, that's not okay. The way we're interconnected nowadays, it's kind of become a basic human right to have net neutrality. Telecommunications can have different caps put on certain data plans, but they cannot charge you premiums for additional services or things that are already there. Basically, no more paying $5 for American YouTube videos. So good on you guys. This is an absolutely great step in the right direction. It's already been made into law in a few countries. Denmark has basically been leading the way in this, where every data plan has to have exactly certain things. Even if you're using the internet on your cell phone, they're not allowed to charge you with mobile roaming for data usage, which is absolutely incredible. Hopefully this will make its way over to the west end of the pond, but for now we're going to kind of have to jumble around with, hey look, you can't access this because you're in the wrong country, or you don't have the right provider, or fucking companies, and net neutrality for all. The Xbox One has a specific section for parental controls, and generally what this means is you can disable certain apps or content or even some games from being played if you feel that it's inappropriate for your minor. I think that in certain situations this is a really good idea, but that's not really the point here. The point here is a 5-year-old has managed to completely destroy it and beat it. Apparently if you go into the parental control settings and try to type in the password and incorrectly put it in, a second prompt will come up saying, no, try again, that was the wrong password. Apparently this second password entry window was completely vulnerable to spaces. The 5-year-old had loaded the bar with spaces and had essentially bypassed the parental controls and allowed him to access the mature games that his dad was playing. While the father was slightly miffed, being a computer programmer, he was more impressed that the boy was able to go around it and praised him for the ability to do so. Points for parenting, by the way, hey, yeah, no, this isn't for you, but if you're gonna go around it, I'm glad you exposed it and told me about it. And the boy did admit it to his father later, so this is just all around a happy, good story. Points for everyone, this is all good. Microsoft has turned around and said, hey, congratulations, we'll actually give you credit on the staffing team. So they've mentioned the 5-year-old boy's name in the credits for staffing, for security, which is amazing. They gave him a year free of Xbox Live subscription and free games and $50. So go, find bugs, be the beta testers, and break everything, because apparently Xbox will throw shit at you. Just make sure it gets national coverage. Have fun. If you're thinking about getting a new copy of the Wolfenstein on the next-gen consoles, you'll be happy to know that you potentially are getting a beta code for the new Doom 4. If you have it on the older consoles though, you will not be eligible to play this. Nobody is not really sure why. It's available on PC and the new consoles, but if you plan on getting Doom 4 for the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 3, you cannot do beta. That really sucks. Just so you ought to know, if you are going to get this big package thing that says, hey look, it comes with a beta code, make sure you can actually play it, because it's kind of important. The writer of the Uncharted series has left Naughty Dog and moved on to Visceral Games, where she's started to undertake a new Star Wars game. I know nothing about it, but that's amazing. There was good writing in those games. I enjoyed them. Well, there wasn't a lot of writing, but it was still good. Well done. And the Uncharted games are actually really nicely done, so I'm kind of interested to see how a sci-fi twist will be put. Yeah. That's it. There's no title or anything. I got nothing. Sorry. Square Enix, the studio that's been responsible for most of the Final Fantasies and JRPGs that we all know and love, has turned around and miffed a few people a couple of years ago when they said that they were trying to broaden horizons and expand their market reach. This led to them producing Hitman Absolutions, the new Tomb Raider reboot, and Sleeping Dogs. While all these weren't necessarily bad games by any means, I recommend all of them individually. They were not huge hitting, amazingly things, shiny, look at me now sort of things that Square Enix wanted them to be. And they were kind of disappointed at that, so they very quietly released this other JRPG called Bravely Default. I have yet to play this, but it's classically styled, it's done in the classic JRPG sense. I'm talking way early in the Final Fantasy VI realm. Then you'll probably like this game. Square Enix has now gone on record saying that this sleeper hit, which has sold over 200,000 copies in North America alone in a very short span, they have now said we are rededicating ourselves to JRPGs. This article was posted on April 1st, so I really hope it's not a joke. But that would be really fucking good, because this is what you're good at. Stay focused, guys. You can do this. We like them. Just, if it's Final Fantasy X-2, you have potential here. JRPGs are awesome. You guys know how to make them. Don't screw it up. Alright, so that just about wraps up the episode this week. You can contact us at numpsgamedump@gmail.com, or always just leave us a comment in the section below. If there's any other information you want us to know about, if there's any questions you have about the things we've covered today, please just drop us a line. Anything is good things, and yeah. I understand you need to Google Plus to comment on YouTube, and that really, really sucks, but we also have email and Facebook, kind of. I don't have Facebook. I hate Facebook. There's another person who made Facebook and kind of evaluates it for me, and that's just them. But we also have this Tumblr page, which we're also kind of working on. And again, I don't have Tumblr, I know nothing about it, I've got someone else looking after that. They bring it to me. So, many ways to contact. Find one, do one, haha. Signing out, thanks guys. I got up rain today, so here we go. If there's anything you need us to see, you email us. The email is going to be down there. Right there. Fuck.